All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master. We are rejoining the party of Heroes Wanted. They have decided to push on through the night and make it to the town by morning, um, having not rested. And
We did rest.
No, we decided to rest.
oh, you guys
Remember, I
decided.
No,
Oh, that's
they
right.
argued with me.
That's right. You
I
guys
offered a
camped right
beer
at the.
Yeah, he
to.
was
Oh, that's
brought
right. It
by
was a
Ale and
beer.
that
Yeah.
worked.
That's right. You guys camped right at the edge. So I forgot you were stubborn right up until the point of offering liquor, and then it was all over. So you guys can go ahead and take your long rest then. So just click on the long rest macro, and it should refill your hit points and any of your long rest abilities.
I guess he decided to roll a new PC instead.
They were working on the macros.
And so once you guys have refilled your hit points and all of your other abilities, um, now having spent the night out on the plains, you have to decide whether you're going to march straight to town, take time to eat breakfast, scavenge for food. What exactly do you want to do now that you've woken up from a long rest?
How far is town?
It's about 2 to 3 hours yet.
Hey, quick question. I'm hitting the long rest button, but
Yeah,
I'm not
I
getting any.
I'm logging in and restarting the sandbox right now. It
Oh, okay.
it must have crashed at some point. So, all right, should be working now.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, whatever happened to that lizard folk guy that was found?
He died, fell into a pit of spikes.
Yeah,
Damn.
finish him.
So let's head into town, I assume.
Well, I'm not sure about anyone else, but I have rations, so I probably could just nibble on those while we're headed to town. I'm not sure if everyone else has food issues right now, but
Yeah, so a ration is worth 1 day's worth of food. So the way I rule it is that it takes one ration from any one player to feed 3 characters. So it would take you guys 2 whole rations to feed everybody. Because it's per 3 players, so even though there's only one extra player, it's still an extra ration.
I was like, one ration is like 3 pounds,
Yeah,
or
it's like 2 pounds each. But I think I get what you're saying, though. You mean for this meal, because we're just basically having breakfast, we could split it up. Is that what you're saying?
for any meal that you're having, like every character needs to eat 1 full ration per day in order to maintain without exhaustion and all of that. Um, but that's broken up into 3 meals. So I rule that one ration can feed up to 3 players. for one meal. But then you still have to eat later in the day and all of that.
Yeah. Soggy's going to have a bit of his rations.
So you guys can either track all your rations separately, and then you have to mark them down, bit by bit when we break up the day like this, because we don't know if you guys are going to have a chance to eat again later today or not.
So we're going to a town, right? We assume there's food there.
Yeah. Or, who knows?
Wait, okay. I think this is kind of a player and character knowledge thing. There's a famine happening. Right.
Yeah, Donovan knows about that. Soggy knows about that.
Oh, I did.
Soggy sort of like halts the group as he remembers, like, wait! Soggy thinks we should look for food because if we go into town, we might not find food because there is famine. Right, Don Ivan?
So what's causing
That is
this
true.
famine? What's causing this famine?
I mean, you don't have any evidence of this. I believe it is this resident vampire lord. If I was going to oppress a populace, I would make sure I would have good control of the food supply.
There
However,
is also the matter. There was also rats. Yes.
And there's also something has cut off the water supply, or in the very least, I don't feel that it's a natural occurrence. Not only are we amidst a famine in this nation, the cause of it is the drought. But I've seen waterways, and I've seen things here and there. I believe there is something amiss. But either way, we should do well to stock up on our food supplies and eat when we can, lest we find ourselves in the middle of the wilderness or a city without food.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
So you guys are like kind of out on the open plains at the edge of the jungles. And so out here, there's like rabbits amongst the tall grass, some small birds, um, you know, things of that nature. As far as like large animals or anything like that to hunt, you don't see anything, scanning across the plains. The only thing you can see is way in the distance the coastline of the whole continent that you're on, the vast ocean that lies beyond. And in the very distance, in the early morning light, you can still see the light from the lighthouse of Liverport as it glows with its beacon stretching out over the morning waves.
So Soggy's gonna start looking for like rabbits and such, trying to gather food for breakfast.
Soggy, roll for survival to see how well your kobold hunting skills serve you. Yeah, so
Rabbits are not fish.
you've always lived, aquatic, semi-aquatic lifestyle, and so fishing is natural for you, but running after rabbits, you kind of just look like a dog chasing its tail as you spin and try to catch them, and they're just jumping out of your way and running into their little burrows and kind of like looking back, and you using your speak with animals natural ability can hear them laughing at you.
Soggy sort of sits up and says, "Stop laughing at Soggy!" He just is just disappointed.
Yeah.
When all
Yeah,
animal
that's pretty
fur on
bad
us.
when a rabbit's talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
Yeah. They're going all Looney Tunes on you, just completely mocking you.
Well, Lillian thinks that their idea of breakfast sounds really disgusting, so she's gonna pull out a probably some sort of like pastry or cake or something and start eating that. That's probably her idea of rations.
So yeah, there's like a sweet dumpling that is fried and made in your homeland, and because of the frying, it keeps really well for days at a time. So you would still have some rations from the last time you were able to stop and make this delicious sweet dumpling that you learned how to make back in your homeland.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
So, what does Harbeck find?
An empty mug when he rouses himself from having drunk his ale last night.
But he did make a survival roll.
Using all of his dwarven instincts, he quickly locates the rest of the keg and pours himself a nice, hearty, liquid bread breakfast.
Works for me. Some mushrooms, maybe some worms or something out of the ground.
You're pretty desperate. I think if you're desperate enough to start eating bugs, I think Lillian would offer to share some of her junk food with you.
Soggy, after
I've got plenty.
exhausted, sort of goes up to Lillian and says, "Please, hungry."
Okay, she'll hand you one.
Yeah, he just ravenously eats it.
As
When you
soon
bite
as
into it, it is nauseatingly sweet.
Yeah,
And
as soon as you put it in your mouth, your lizard digestion and taste buds that are used to eating raw fish and shellfish and other things of that nature, you bite into this cinnamony, sugary, just disgustingly syrupy sweet dumpling. And I don't know if you're familiar with, like, people over in England have a much more bitter uh, candy. They don't use as much sugar in their chocolate and candy as we do. And so when they eat American treats for the first time, it's usually like overpowering for them. Like that, it is 100 times worse for you because you're not
well,
even
I
human.
mean, not only is it like a cultural like difference of food, but I imagine she probably used like several times the sugar mentioned in whatever recipe she found because that's definitely what she would do. So
Yeah, yeah. Traditionally, this is a semi-sweet, dumpling, but you make it to where it's like syrupy, like pure corn syrup sugar hitting your tongue.
Soggy sort of is just. So make a Constitution saving throw.
I don't know if it would require a saving throw, but
Yeah, well, he needs to make a saving throw to see whether or not he completely spits it out along with some water.
He just he just vomits it back out. Blah! What is this? It is not tasty. Not tasty. Blah! Blah!
What do you mean? You're crazy. This is awesome.
And after he gets the last of the dumpling out of his mouth, several streams of water follow as he continues to retch.
Soggy does not like sweet thing. Gluck. Soggy sort of slumps down as he's just depressed now that nothing around he can eat.
Soggy, would you care to try some of my dried fish?
Soggy would take that gratefully.
And I'm going to share some of my rations with Soggy.
Soggy eats that down.
Make sure you make him balance a ball on his nose and clap his hands together first.
Wow, he's not a.
I'm not a.
Hey, I'm just saying you got to keep him well trained.
I mean, a seal PC would be like a really interesting character. Imagine you show up to a table of like try hard LRP people, and yeah, my guy's a harp seal, and you just post like some random picture from Google or something. That'd be awesome.
You may
Heart
call
seal,
me.
He'd have to be a bard.
Oh, for
You may
sure.
call me Big Daddy. Just this giant leather
Anyway.
noodle wiggling through.
Let's continue on after breakfast.
Yeah. So you guys, all make do with what you have, and Soggy is grateful for having received some fish to get that syrupy, nasty taste, and now mixed with the salty seawater taste out of his mouth, and get some dried fish, which is a little different texture than he's used to, but definitely uh more familiar fare than what Lillian had served him. Ooh, what did you do?
Oh, after she finishes gleefully eating, she's gonna clean her teeth there with prestidigitation. She don't want any cavities.
Oh, yeah. And as you cast your prestidigitation, a tiny little magical set of dental cleaning supplies, a toothbrush and a little pick and some magical floss begin to do their work, dancing around your mouth like a goddamn Disney cartoon before disappearing in a sparkle.
Look at Disney. Oh man.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to get demonetized for mentioning Disney.
Rest in peace. You get one of those copyright strike things.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, you guys all make do with your meals and are now ready to proceed on. As you make your way to the city of Liverport, all along the roadway, you see dozens of travelers. Some of them are pouring in to a line in front of the gate, while others are fleeing to the north to other towns. And it's just a mass of confusion that you can see up ahead on the road. Further out where you guys are still, there's just a few caravans that are heading either to or from the city, hauling goods and other trading supplies, as Liverport is a major um, hub of trade. So as you guys approach the gate, pushing your way through the crowd of people, you make your way up to the gate where a couple of guards are kind of beating back any of the peasants who get too close and letting through the merchants and other tradesmen who have legitimate business inside the city walls. You can see perched up on the top of the gates several crossbowmen with with bolts ready to launch at anyone who gets too frisky. So the crowd, pretty much respects the guards. Plus, they're fully armored knights with maces. Here in Liverport, the guards don't carry the typical glaives of more traditional towns like Lakeshore. Here, the guards carry shields and maces with the spikes in them. So when they beat,
Morningstar.
yeah, Morningstar, thank you. When they beat a crowd back, it's it's British police style. Like you're getting beat good.
Yeah, Soggy does not want to, and so he sort of starts to disguise himself to make sure that he doesn't look like a kobold. Just sort of covers himself up in his robes and such to make sure he looks like a halfling to the eye. So deception.
I mean, you can try, but it's gonna be like E.T. dressing up like a kid. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you rolled a natural 20, so basically how I'm going to rule it is that they can't see your face at all, but like there's only so much you can do about hiding the fact that you walk like a lizard and you have a tail and, you know, a long face, so like you're able to hide your face, but you're just a little suspicious looking. Like clearly you are three toddlers in a trench coat. Like,
I sort of hide behind the group as sort of like as I sort of cover myself up the best I can.
yeah,
As I
and
sort of
and you're knocking it out of the park, but there's only so much you can do, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Well,
Okay,
lady
out
and
of
gentlemen.
curiosity, I have a question. Like before, you mentioned that like people were really, really like hostile towards like magic and witches and shit like that. Um, is there like a negative stigma to me wearing my hat?
Uh, no, because that's not a thing. Like
It's not a stereotype. Okay, good.
you wearing the hat is just a fashion thing. Lots of people wear hats like that.
Yeah,
Well,
plus
where
this is a
where
port
you come
city.
where you come from.
This is a port city. There'd be so many different people coming from so many different places that, and assuming that merchants want money, I don't. If you're there to buy stuff, they probably couldn't care less.
Yeah, they're just keeping people out because just like Lakeshore, lots of refugees are trying to pour into the city because like everybody's starving.
Well, friends, I cannot guarantee that this will give us passage into the city, but I am officially a blacksmith merchant by trade. I may must let us through.
Oh, your mic cut out there. By trade was the last word we heard. Oh yeah, your thing
Well,
is
friends,
flickering. I can't.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, it's
I don't
good.
know what's
It's good
going on.
now. Yeah, it's good now. You're fine.
I can't guarantee us that this will give us passage into the city, but I am in fact a blacksmith merchant by trade. I may be able to allow. I may be able to get the guards to. I may be able to convince the guards to allow us.
Soggy Soggy would like this. Yes.
Okay, we can try, right?
Soggy's
Right.
reptilian voice is easily identified as not human, so like one of you would probably try to shush him a little.
Well,
Soggy
he's supposed
sort
to be
of
hiding in the
shushes
back
as
anyway.
soon as they Soggy shushes. And Soggy says to himself, what in mentally, Soggy is having.
Yes. Yes. All right, so go ahead. Yeah, I mean the guards are just, hey, you get back. All right, you step forward. Blah, blah, blah. And so you guys hear all that.
Hello there. Donovan McGrady here, traveling merchant, blacksmith.
Oh, you got to get way
I'm
closer than that. There's a whole lot of like peasants around. I just didn't feel like putting dozens of tokens on the map. Yeah, there
You
you
could
go.
have put one.
All right,
big
that's
token.
far enough. All right, what's your business here? Hey, what? Hey, get back here! Don't make us chase you.
Hail Guards. The
You-
name is Donovan McGrady. I am a traveling blacksmith, and this is my band of assistants. We've come here looking for trade and
Blacksmiths. You don't look like no blacksmiths I've ever seen. Where's your tools?
I'll show him my blacksmithing tools.
I shall do the same. May I roll for diplomacy?
Yes.
Soggy will assist.
And just for the record, everybody knows if you make the guards chase you, they're bringing an ass whooping with them.
Yeah, persuasion.
All right, so Donovan, you convince them that your armor is for defensive purposes and that you are indeed a
No,
blacksmith.
this
and-
is the quality of my wares. I
Yeah.
am so I'm so confident in my capability. I only wear the armor created by my own hands.
and they're very impressed, and they say, all right, I thought you might be adventurers from the looks of you. It costs extra for adventurers, can't be too careful. All right, 50 gold each.
Damn.
Fortunately, we have the money.
So somebody's got to pay him 200 gold for you guys to get inside.
Well, can we split it up, or does it have to be one person paying the whole bill?
Soggy can pay
Hey,
50.
hey, hurry it up. You guys said you were merchants. Do you got the 200 gold or don't you?
Now you see my inventory. I don't even know if I have 50.
Oh my
I
God!
mean,
Move to the back. Move to the back. You let these merchants through. They-
Lillian will give gold,
Yeah, I
but
don't
it'll
have-
be in platinum.
Sir,
Soggy
I'm-
gives his 50.
hold up a second. This is gonna seem kind of ballsy, but I'm going for it. 50 gold seems awfully steep for a traveling merchant, don't you think? Why do I feel the sinking suspicion that I'm being shaken down?
Look, is this your first time here or what? Hey, this guy doesn't even know what's going on here. Get to the back and let merchants through.
Soggy sort of like gives Donovan his 50 gold.
Yeah, Lillian will give it, but it'll be in platinum.
Everybody knows when you go to Fantasy Tijuana, you just pay them what they say.
Yeah, don't need to barter. Barter. 50 gold is a reasonable
Oh,
price.
actually, I can do gold. I thought I only had platinum. Never mind. Yeah, I can do it in gold.
Man, we are getting robbed here.
No, it's a fair toll.
I think
And
we'd
Soggy is
50
not
gold?
eager to fight these guys. He sees them and just like knows that he has to give some gold, and so he sort of gives Donovan the 50 gold to pay for it.
The guard kind of pushes you guys off to the side, making room for some other people to come up to the other guard, who he then tells them
hell
what's
no,
going on.
pushing me aside.
We can roll.
I think not, sir.
We're gonna have to roll here.
For 10.
Don't,
for
don't,
10
don't,
gold
don't,
a
don't,
guard,
don't.
we can take these.
I mean, he's not being like overly aggressive. He's just putting his shield forward and like marching you guys back in order to like make room. But if you want to roll for whether or not he actually pushes you, we can do that.
I was just trying to pay the toll. I was trying to help pay the toll.
Yeah, but
DM?
they heard you guys arguing amongst yourselves, and they got like there's in case I didn't describe it, there's like dozens and dozens of people trying to get in, and they're like really busy. There's armed crossbowmen ready to shoot anybody who like gets too frisky. So like, you know, they're like busy. They don't need your shit today.
I'm gonna
If you
I'm
can't-
gonna step aside and watch carefully to see what other people are charged and pay. So I don't know what
Okay, roll for perception.
I don't know what these lands, what traditions they have.
Go ahead and roll for perception. All right, so as you're watching other people go through from the side, you notice that some of them are being charged, while others are just kind of given a knowing nod and let through.
Can I differentiate the reason? Is there like a secret handshake thing or signal or anything that differentiates the two?
Roll a unskilled wisdom check. It's on your skills tab. All right, so you happen to notice that two of the people that you saw let through had a specific flag. All of the merchant caravans fly a flag from the company that they're with, and two of them had the same specific flag that denotes one of the major guilds in this area.
Liliane will speak up, and I think we should just pay, you know?
There is no. Soggy already has the gold as he shows off his 50 gold that he's going to pay.
Soggy's hands struggle to hold all 50 gold pieces, but he proudly holds it up to show you guys how he has the money to pay.
The 50 gold.
In my mind, I am screaming, damn fund collectors. Not too far unlike vampires themselves.
While the paladin side says,
I will be reasonable now. We could simply pay the entry fee. Last time I was taken for a ride, there was at least a wet.
So what do you guys do?
I mean, I guess we get back in line to pay the gold or whatever.
So who
each will
who
pay
walks
50
up?
gold.
Yeah, did you guys get the money sorted? Like what's going on? Like
Yeah, I want $10.
Like, who's gonna
We
hold the
all-
money? Like,
Um,
what's gonna happen here? Are you all holding 50
Well,
gold?
I
And-
think he
Donovan's going to
probably better
hand the
hold it because
money.
you made it sound like he was like the leader of the group and our boss or something. So
So Donovan.
This is my band of assistants. Assistants, can you guys like spot me?
Does somebody got 50 gold they could lend me?
Yeah, Lillian can cover for you.
Lily Ann counts out 100 gold pieces. Soggy hands 50.
Honestly, it'll have to be in 5 platinum. Like, I legit don't have any more gold than that.
Okay. And Harbeck?
Wait, friends. Wait. Perhaps this is being a little too precautious, but perhaps you shouldn't be flashing so much platinum around here. Maybe we should walk off somewhere away from the prying eyes of.
I mean, I imagine Lillian just kind of gives you like a sort of a confused, type look, like she's not really sure what you're on about. But yeah, she was counting at quite a bit of platinum there.
Yeah, Soggy just wants to get through because he is not enjoying his time with the guards. He just wants to get through.
Other people are paying 50 gold though.
As far as you can tell, I mean, you're not able to like hear everything that's going on, but it definitely looks like large purses being handed over. And Lillian, yeah, all of your money is probably in foreign currency, huh?
Is like platinum going to be problematic? I thought this was a
Oh
pretty
no,
spiffy merchant
no,
town.
no. Precious metal is precious metal. Don't get it twisted. But like all of your coins are funny coins for these guys.
Yeah, probably. It would make sense.
Yeah. I just wanted to, point that out too, that Donovan, you've only seen money like this from the Far East before. And Harbeck, you would be familiar with it as money from the lands of the Five Kingdoms.
So are we ready?
Soggy is ready to give the 50. So we hand
Suppose.
the 50 to Donovan.
Thank you,
Goes
Soggy.
against my grain.
Harbeck?
It goes against my grain.
Yeah, old man, but the sooner we get in there, the sooner you can get your alcohol.
That only works once. Come on.
Who wants a Scooby snack?
Do I see any more merchants with the flags?
You see a line of merchants, and yeah, there happens to be one a few rows back.
I'll try it. I'm gonna approach one of them to see if they have an extra, or if I could rent it from them for
Flag?
a few minutes. Yeah.
Oh, what are you, some kind of scab? You trying to get in on our guild? Get out of here, you filthy dwarf!
Soggy is sort of confused as he asks for the flag and sort of just like as he said, just like, why you want cloth? Cloth does not do say.
Because it'll get you in the city for free.
Yeah, but it might cause issues later. I don't know if it's a good idea to go impersonating an organization like that.
Yes, and Soggy has gold as he shows off his as he carefully shows off his 50 gold.
Some of the gold pieces are starting to spill out and drop, and Soggy is kind of comically bending over to pick some of them up, and more are dropping, and so he's just running around in circles, picking up and dropping coins at this point.
Soggy, please pay. Soggy, what? Donovan, please take coin.
Sure.
And Donovan takes the coins.
Yes, so now Donovan has them in a large sack.
Well, I guess I'll make my way through the crowd and
Wait, you didn't get
I'll pay
Harbeck's
out.
50 gold. You only have 150 gold, and 100 of it's in weird looking platinum pieces.
Well, to be fair, 50 of it is in gold and 50 of it is in platinum.
Oh, okay. So you got 100 gold and 5 funny looking platinum pieces.
Yeah, I mean, because I was not offered to pay if like money was is concerned.
So now Harbeck, if he's giving you 50 gold, he would also probably have dwarven money. So again, you know, they're not unfamiliar with it, but like it's not their money.
And mine would be platinum also. So I'll just gruffly walk. I'm assuming you guys have already kind of gone through, or
Oh,
Yeah, I
you're
think we were kind of waiting
No,
for
we're all
you
outside.
to.
you're gonna
Yeah,
pay
I'll
your
just-
own?
yeah, I'll just throw him a small sack with 5 coins in it, and just keep walking.
Okay, I'll
Ah.
get my
They
50
like totally
gold back
block.
then.
They totally block the way if you try to like just go past them before they count it. So hold on. If you want to go after them, then first, Donovan, you're walking up to pay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Donovan, Lillian, and Soggy are walking up to pay, and as Donovan approaches the guard, he's like, "Oh, look at these jokers! What do you or jesters? What do you want?"
We simply wish to enter the city. We have your thief.
Well, hand it over. Let's go.
And I'll hand him a bag of coins.
And then he starts to count out some of them, and then he looks and he's like, "Hey, what kind of funny money is this?" And he pulls out one of the platinum pieces, and he kind of lifts his visor, eyes it up, bites down on it, smiles. He's like, "Ah," and he throws it in the bag and passes you through. Hey, get going. I ain't got all day. Get through the gates. Move, move, move. You two, let's go.
Lillian, Harbeck. I think they're trying to control their tokens, but they can't seem to.
No, I'm good. I moved.
Oh, you again. Hey, get your dwarf ass back here. Don't make me poke you with this.
I'll toss the bag to this guy here. and just kind of keep pushing forward. If he resists, I'll kind of push him with
Okay, roll for athletics.
not like for damage or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no, no damage.
Just
No damage. It's just an athletics roll. You're okay. Don't worry. I know you're not like instigating that kind of violence.
yeah.
But still, you're pushing on him. He might not like that.
Problem is, I'm seriously looking at the risk benefit of 50 gold versus killing all these guys.
All right, so you begin to push him back, and he's about to raise his mace when the other guard kind of looks at him and shows him that you gave him a sack full of dwarven gold and
It was platinum.
dwarven platinum. And as some of you may know, dwarves are well known for being the finest craftsmen and having the purest alloys and yada yada yada. So normally gold and platinum is like, 85 to 90% pure, back in these days, whereas the dwarves are able to get modern standards of like 99.99% purity. So, dwarven platinum is inherently just worth more, even though like to the dwarves, it's not that they consider theirs to be like worth more. To them, it's still worth the same amount, but your guys' is just like garbage.
If the guy is raising his mace or morning star or anything, I'll just kind of look at him and say, not a smart idea.
Yeah, so he was starting to raise it, and then the other guy kind of gives him a little bird whistle, and he looks over and he flashes him one of the dwarven platinum pieces, and the other guy just kind of like laughs and lets you through. They just made a tidy profit.
as they usually do with some of the merchants.
Question: is there any other guards on this side of the?
There are just tons of people. This is a lively, active town. So as you're moving through, you don't see any like stationed guards, but you do notice that the barracks is right over to your character's left, down to the south here.
Okay, so well then I'll ask any passerbys, guards, or any guards that I see just kind of in the area. Um, Pardon me, sir, just out of curiosity, but how much is the fee to enter the?
They say, it's different for everybody.
I see. Eh, well then, have a good day, sir.
The guy just kind of looks at you like, look at this tourist.
I'm assuming at where I am, I'm like going through like a tunnel there that the archers or crossbowmen have no shots there.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I'm okay. I'm not doing anything.
No, I was just prepared to show you what was under there since you asked. Street. And passersby, people behind you are starting to like push past you and like stream into the town as they're let in.
Well, we're here, gentlemen. Well, lady and gentlemen, of course. What do we do now? What would you like to do? You
Well, let's see.
remember what our purpose for coming here was, aside from just getting to civilization?
Soggy thinks that it is also good to get help. Probably ask around for about Soggy sort of whispers as to Donovan as he says, "The Croco Dragon." Yes?
The size of that beast and how powerful it was, I don't believe that a city would be this booming and populated if it was, if they had known a dragon was flying.
Well, I think the first thing we probably should do is get some rooms. It seems kind of busy. They might have a limit on those. It would be a shame to have nowhere to spend the night.
Soggy agrees.
That being said, now that I think about it, if getting into the city costs that much, and with the amount of refugees and this being a port town, if we find vacancy, it might be crazy.
I just can't believe it cost 10 gold to get in. Saying that loud enough for as many people to hear as possible.
A couple of them
Like-
look at you like you're crazy.
Those guards are just taking advantage of people. Yeah, if I can cause a riot, that would be good.
Go to the tavern, start spreading urban legends. It's really only like 5 or 10 gold to get in.
yeah.
Soggy
now-
does not want to die, though.
Normally, a paladin would not want to help you start a riot, but I am a folk hero. I'm a people's
power
man.
to the people.
You guys are getting some weird ideas. I think we should just see how much the rooms cost.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so if you guys head to like the
Free beer at the end.
if you guys head to like the nicer part of town, or you guys can head to like down by the docks.
Okay, so now I'm just trying to think like, and this is of course out of character. Yeah. So what do we do now? I mean, we're here. I'm not. I mean, far be it from me to try to assume what's in the DM's head, but you guys really think we can get much information about a dragon here? Because I mean, I just wouldn't imagine so many people being out in the open with a giant fire-breathing crocodile like in the sky.
Well, they're not necessarily like related to the dragon, but there's always, I can always hear interesting rumors and tidbits from taverns and gossip from talking to people. So, like, I mean, I think the dragon thing is something we should probably come back to when we've gained like 2 or 3 levels instead of like trying to fight it at level 4.
That includes the young dragon.
I personally have no idea what our goals are, what we're going for.
Well, first off, we're going to try and find some objects to help fight off the BBGs that we currently have to face. The young black dragon, the half dragon hybrid, and the possible vampire lord.
which all of which are like multiple levels above our current capability.
Yeah.
Darn, you know what I really kind of wish? I wish there was somebody in the group who had who had like a thieves' cant, because I am almost certain that there's like a resistance group against like maybe the vampire lord or something, because
You cut out there because why?
I'm almost certain that the famine and drought is a result of the action of the vampire lord that's here, like as a form of oppressing his people. I mean, like hungry, starving, thirsty people just cannot fight a rebellion. That's just pure and simple. So I thought it'd be great, like if we were able to find like some sort of a resistance group that'd be willing to work with, help us in some way fight the dragon. But I just don't know how we'd be able to go about that because we just don't have those capabilities.
Well, I mean, like I would say as stereotypical as it sounds, going to a place with a lot of people talking about random stuff, like for instance, the tavern would probably be a great place to pick up on something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine
should
people are
probably go
talking about
there.
all sorts of shit there.
So yeah, like I said, there's a nicer part of town and there's the docks.
We should probably head to the docks.
There's also the market square.
Well, first we're looking for lodging, right?
Yeah, that's the first, and make sure we actually have a room, like a place to spend the night, and then you can see what happens from there.
Yeah. Then
You know what? Funny enough, I am a folk hero. I can actually get us temporary free lodging here. It won't be by like an inn, but it would be like by general people. Like, oh, it's that guy. Yeah, man, I'll give you a night. If we might be able to work that.
Soggy's willing to do the plan of whatever is suggested.
Harbeck
right,
is
so,
getting the sneaking. Harbeck is getting the sneaking suspicion that Donovan just likes mentioning how he's a folk hero.
Well, he is part vampire hunter.
Yeah, as far as to basically let you two know, while there was an obvious change in my character that has been heavily implied and almost outright. On the other hand, I was a dark and grizzled lone sort of vampire hunter with a very low charisma score. While I was very not very social and outward, I was also very my character is sort of at least somewhat known for being a man of the people. Like he doesn't charge anyone for gold. He just hates vampires. So if he knew that there was somebody who was being attacked by them, he would go out of his way to save them. I can't guarantee, but there is that. I mean, it might save us a few gold. So. But
Well,
either way, what kind of rumors are we looking for here? Because I would say this, right? I mean, I know it's the cliche. I mean, what we're looking for is better magical equipment, so we can maybe at a certain point find the dragon in question and take him out before he causes damage. But like, I mean, are we really going to be like we need to walk into an inn? Like, I'm looking for powerful magical stuff. Oh yeah, go over
we're
there.
well, yeah,
look for-
obviously there's a tactful way that you can, phrase those sort of things.
I think I might, if there's a church, I might go there.
Soggy does not trust churches ever since the incident with the plague doctor.
Well, what is each of our backgrounds? You're folk hero. I'm soldier.
I'm a
So
fisher.
I could maybe get in.
Well, I'm an
I could maybe
entertainer.
get in with
So
military.
Lillian would actually be more interested in going to the nice part of town because she knows that she could play her violin there and earn some extra money and get free lodging. So
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the local blacksmith.
I can help you with that. Again, we were looking for lodging first, but I think we should exploit our backgrounds. Maybe even split up a little bit, doing that just to find out.
Never
some
split the party.
information about-
well, I mean, it's in town. It's appears to be safe for the time being, but
And just kind of get general information about things because I feel like it's going to be baby steps up to building up to taking on the bad guys.
And
Agreed.
also the specialized objects that the DM promised in the past is with the young black dragon. So whatever efforts that can be made to help fight that young black dragon is good.
yeah, I mean, I think the splitting up thing makes sense because we probably could cover more ground and gather more information based on that.
Well,
All right, you
Soggy
know
would
what?
need the
I just remembered something. So the dragon that a crocodile thing was sealed away in an ancient temple. Perhaps we should be asking around trying to find information about dragons that were sealed away and why.
Check the library, check places.
I
of
mean,
information.
it was an elven thing.
I'm sorry, what did
It
you
was an
say?
elven thing. That's the only.
He likes elven things. It's an elven thing.
He's saying so. He's saying that it's that the tomb or the ruins in which we found the dragon was elven in nature, ancient elven at that, and there's currently a big issue between races, essentially elves and everybody else. Be more likely, not only would it be rare since it's so old, it would be exceptionally hard to find this information because it's about like enemy stuff. Like they wouldn't just have that information on hand, I think is what he's saying.
Okay.
Either way, I guess we'll role play out. I guess the main goal here is get to the I'll try to see if I can use my feet to get us lodging at least for the evening for free at someone's house if we can, but otherwise I guess it's just an argument with anyone who might want to be in a poor inn versus the well-off end with Lillian.
Soggy is just happy to have housing. He's not picky of like if it's poor or rich.
I would prefer middle to upper.
Ah, there, Lillian. See, I don't wish to sound like a vagabond here, but I am simply not as well off as you are, apparently, and I wish not to dip into your into your purse any further. The niceties of a high quality and well sounding quite desirable is just a bit out of my expense range.
It's fine. I understand.
So, where are we going?
So I guess
Well, I imagine even if we're staying at different lodgings, we can just agree, hey, you know, at this time, let's meet up at this shop or this, you know, landmark in town or something. It's not like, you know, it's too big of a deal for the time being if we're in different places.
I feel like, for security's sake, we should stay together.
Yeah, it would be a little
Like,
bit
we
safer,
can
but I don't know if we
investigate.
like.
We can investigate separately. During the day, I don't have a problem with it or anything, but nights and overnights, we should stay together and report in what we find and all that stuff. We should have a central base of operations.
Well, I would say also in terms of expenses, like, do you guys have any wares to sell? Like, I'm not sure how many dungeon stuff you guys have been in, but like, if you have any spare crap, we could sell it at the store here. That would give us some extra money to the group.
And quite honestly, we don't even know what lodging will cost.
well, we won't find out standing here now, will we? Let us be off.
Soggy agrees. Soggy's going to head to the docks. Is going to ask for someone to head to the docks with him. Soggy thinks we should go to docks for rumors and such. Can someone come with Soggy? Soggy does not want to go alone.
What's the first inn or something that we see?
All right,
Hostel or
so as you're walking through the gates, this was the southern gate, and it leads kind of out to a area where there's a lot of workshops, people making like dyes and clay pots, um, people making nets for the fishermen, sails, just all kinds of workshops and everything. And then you can either turn up and get to the market square. You can continue off and keep following the road until you hit the main road, which leads up to the villas of the nicer parts of town. Or you can kind of follow the road as it curves down towards the dock area.
Soggy thinks wants to go to the dock area with someone.
So Soggy, let me get this straight. You want to go to the docks?
Yes, usually fishers and sailors have rumors. They tell stories which have truth. This can be.
I was just kidding, little one.
Soggy,
Sure.
you've never heard a joke referred to as kidding before. You recognize the
Yes,
word
what he-
kid as being like a child, but you don't
What-
understand how that relates to him saying he was like a child.
Why are you like child? Why?
Oh, so
How tall is he? Is Soggy?
He's shorter than everyone else. That's for certain.
Under
he's
4
like up
feet.
to
Yeah,
He's like
I'm
up
just
to my
trying
knee.
see how much smaller he is than me.
Yeah, he's like under
I'm
4
3'9".
feet.
I'm 3'9",
Oh,
I think.
what? You're 3'9"?
pretty short for a dwarf.
Yeah, dwarves are usually
3 feet
like
tall. Almost wow. They
Like
usually
four-
yeah,
like
3'9",
4 foot.
bro.
4'9" would be like,
I'm not talking thickness. I'm talking wide.
So he's extra stout.
Like 4'2" is
I'm
short for
sorry,
a dwarf.
4'10". Sorry.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense.
I was about to say, I feel pretty bad. I'm like towering over two of the party members, and I'm a pipsqueak. I'm
Yeah.
like 4'8".
I mean, 4'10" is still pretty damn short.
Does that make me the who has to
Soggy
like
is
reach for shit?
probably the shortest.
Yes, Soggy is by far the shortest.
But
You're
great. That means that I have to pick everybody up over cliffs and like throw people and like reach.
you're barely bigger than Silas.
Well, either way, I'm gonna ask, so I'm gonna go to Soggy and I say, Soggy, I was thinking this is probably a first and probably best opportunity for me to augment your armor. You should probably leave it with me now.
So Soggy can do that, but Soggy also needs in after this happens, can Soggy go to docks?
And with that, Soggy just begins stripping his armor off right as you're walking down the street.
Cool. Did he give me his leather armor?
Yes, and there is now a fully nude kobold walking down the street. He has his cloak on over him, but under that, he has no armor or anything on.
I mean, how much is showing? Would it just look like he's in a robe then?
Yeah, it looks like he's in a robe.
Okay, I mean that's a lot better, honestly. If he's got a robe on.
I was like, did we talk about the rendezvous?
Well, we probably need to get a better grasp of the town, but I mean, I assume there's probably some, you know, good landmarks like, oh, this, fancy, shop or this big statue or this fountain or something.
You
could go
can
to a
see
black-
perhaps
you can
we
see
probably
ahead
get a
in the
good-
market square if you look up the road, you can see that there's a statue in the middle of the market square.
There
You
you go.
could
That's
go
a
to
perfect one.
Blacksmith or a armor smith and kind of camaraderie ask them where the best place to stay and get some information.
Yeah, I mean, we could stop by the stores if that's what people want to do. I can sell this obsidian longsword.
So what happens?
Well, you guys are looking up ahead and you can see the market square.
I'm gonna go up to this turtle and ask him where the best inn in town.
Okay, so as you guys are approaching the center of the market, first of all, there's a whole shit ton of people here, just so many people. But you guys look like tough adventurers, except for Lillian, who looks like a child following along with you. But
And Soggy looks just like some weird hobo.
yeah, you definitely are like just some raggedy cloak hiding a naked kobold, so it's just everybody's like, what the fuck? But Lillian looks like a child following two gruff adventurers, one of whom happens to be a dwarf and the other one fully clad in armor. And you guys kind of part the crowd a little bit. There's all kinds of merchants and even a woman dancing off in the distance on the other side of the market. You can see all kinds of wares for sale, but only a few of them really look interesting per se. So you see the statue towering above the turtle's tent, but as you said, you are drawn instantly to a large green striped tent with a turtle, an old elderly female turtle who is selling maps of far off lands to anyone who wants to come and see Mama Shelley's maps of wonder.
Saki is sort of drawn to this as he sort of starts to walk towards the tent.
Yeah, so you can see a couple of sailors kind of perusing some of the different scrolls that she has laid out on her benches, and she sees Soggy and she points at you, and a vision of water fills your head. You feel drawn to her, and kind of like the Oracle from Matrix, like you get like this sense that like she knew that you were coming, and she kind of reaches back into the pouch that she carries behind her on her shell, and draws out a scroll tube, and she hands it to you, and right as you're about to take it, she quickly holds out her other hand and says, everyone pays the price.
Yes, but what is your price? Sagi sort of says as he tilts his head. What is...
She whispers something in a language that you don't understand, but it like resonates in the back of your head like listening to opera for the first time, and you don't understand what they're saying in Italian or Latin, but it's, just beautiful and stirring and brings up emotions, and it's kind of like that. It's like deja vu, like a language that you heard in a past lifetime or something. And as she says that, um, you kind of just feel compelled to just give her your entire coin purse.
Yeah, Sagi just starts slowly trying to find his coin purse in his cloak.
Your coin purse was tied tightly to your belt, which is now in Donovan's hands.
Oh, he sort of just comes up to Donovan and sort of tugs on his leg and says, Donovan, I need.
Oh, sorry. Here's your. Here. Sorry about.
Yes, Sagi needs it.
So you guys watch as the kobold gives his entire coin purse to the turtle, who hands him a shabby looking scroll case. Inside is a map so old that it's drawn on a piece of semi-petrified wood. The map shows a land that is unfamiliar to any of you. And by piece of wood, I mean like those wooden slats like the old Chinese scrolls used to be.
Oh.
So yeah, you have no idea what this shows. If you even looked at it yet. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that before you confirmed that you looked at it, but
Well, I mean, I imagine you probably would be like looking at it if you bought it.
Lady, what is this a map of? Soggy knows it is map of something, map that Soggy should have, but what is it map of?
she continues to talk to you in that strange language that you just don't understand.
Soggy sort of just gives a confused look as he hears this. And sort of looks to his warlock Lillian to see if she knows the language.
I mean, I don't know. Do I recognize it?
Not even close. This is some kind of ancient guttural language that probably has not been spoken for hundreds of years.
She'll just give a quick no head shake.
Do we know the name of the dragon that like almost killed us?
You can roll for intelligence to see if you remember it was carved in the stones that you guys had released him from. It was Rayorix.
I'm gonna wait until Sagi is of course finished talking with the lady before I just ask my question. But yeah, I'm gonna when that's
Soggy
done.
is thoroughly confused by the language and sees Donovan asking a question.
Pardon, madam. I wish not to intrude on your uh selling, but Andy, have you ever heard of a being by the name of Rayorix?
When you say that, she just kind of looks at you and she holds out a different map. This one of the lands that you're on, but it was drawn, a couple hundred years ago.
How much would that be?
She holds out her hand and signals with her claws that it's 20 gold.
Yeah, of course it is. Um,
Is it Elven writing?
There's no writing on it. It is, however, a highly detailed map of the lands the way that they were several hundred years ago.
do I notice any markings on it from just what I can see? If there's anything, if it's similar in nature to the artwork and carvings that we would have seen in that those.
You can roll for insight to see if you can remember the style and compare it. Yeah, I mean, you can't really tell. The map is kind of like a colonial map would be to us, to where it shows some old forests and, a few towns are marked, where there isn't a town anymore. But other than that, you can't tell exactly, what style or era it's exactly from.
Okay. I guess later I'm gonna have herself see if I can't get any more information.
Any maps from the Dwarven lands, from where I'm from?
Yeah, so as you peruse around the table there, you can see that she has detailed maps of all of the different kingdoms, including like a map that shows the old dwarven kingdoms and a map that shows like all of the battles that were fought and all of the dwarven cities that were lost throughout the wars that left your people crippled and like a joke compared to what the dwarven empire used to be. Now you guys are forced to like, you know, deal with the fact that man is dominant when it was like completely the opposite before. Like men came to you guys begging for your assistance with things, and now it's like, you guys have to kind of kiss their butts, otherwise they could just like close you off completely.
How much are they?
Each of the maps is anywhere from 5 to 50 gold pieces, depending on what map you want.
Any of the maps that pertain to my area, I'll be interested in and want.
Well, the one that shows where all the battles is 20 gold pieces. The one that shows where all of the current cities are is 5 gold pieces. And the one that shows the complete extent of the old Dwarven Empire, it happens to be a very fine map with gold and silver foil denoting different landmarks and like forests and mountains and stuff like that are all foiled and shining, and it's just a very very expensive map. That one is actually 65 gold pieces. It's more than even her regular expensive maps.
I assume she's like showing me fingers.
Yeah. She does everything by like holding up fingers that like mean, this times this or this plus this. She makes it clear.
I'll kind of motion to all three of them and hold up 6 fingers.
So you want all three of them for
All 60 gold.
for
I'll
60.
pull out. I'll actually pull out 6 platinum pieces and hand them to her.
She motions for 8.
I'll give her another 10 gold.
She motions for 5 more.
I'll give it to her.
All right. So you got yourself a deal.
Soggy sort of turns to the sort of like asks the turtle lady,
Tortle.
turtle lady, is there anything else? Is there anything else that you need?
Anytime she talks to you, all you hear is the guttural language. Oh, yeah, I should probably mention. The rest of you, you don't hear the resonating voice like what Soggy's hearing. You just hear her talking in a weird language, but in like a normal voice. But Soggy, you're hearing it like this booming, resonating voice that like makes you feel stuff.
What does it mean? Soggy sort of just says to himself as he just sort of just sits down and just starts trying to turn his head like a dog, trying to understand this insane language.
He's very confused. So, anyone?
Liliane was just waiting for you guys to finish with the maps.
Where have the other guys gone?
Well, I'm right here.
DM?
I'm right here. I'm just waiting for you guys to do whatever you're gonna do. So far, you're just talking to Mama Shelly.
Yeah. We turn back to the we sort of pack up the maps we've gotten.
Well, I'm gonna ask her a question I was gonna ask her when we came up to her. We're looking for lodging. Do you know where we might be able to find an inn?
She says, well, I always have my home on my back. So you know what they say. If you lived here, you'd be home by now.
I'm gonna break out into laughter. It's because she lives in a shell on her back.
She said that in comment.
Yeah.
Soggy sort of chuckles back, but in a sort of confused manner. He knows that the turtles live on in their shells, but it doesn't. He doesn't find it like very humorous.
Well, madam, it was a pleasure to meet you. I wish to do business with you again someday. Until then, I bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Donovan, as you pass by Soggy, you get a strong whiff of ocean breeze and seaweed.
Of what now?
Ocean breeze and seaweed.
She smells like the ocean.
Is something wrong, Don Ivan?
I don't know. It was just as if for a moment I could have sworn that I was on the sea.
But
Briny
we are
air.
near. We are near sea.
It breeze upon my face. It was just strange.
Yeah, but no, exactly like what Donovan's explaining. There's a difference between being near the shore and like being blasted in the face with an ocean spray.
Soggy sort of looked as they're walking as they're traveling to find lodging. He's just looking at the map he just bought with all his gold.
Harbeck, as you're passing by that particular merchant, you can see that he has laid out on his blanket just hundreds of thousands of gold pieces worth of very, very finely cut gems.
Har?
I mean, if he's got that much stuff for sale, I would give him the tag of peasant.
You also notice that he seems extremely confident for an old man having this much jewelry in a town packed with citizens. And indeed, you notice that only those with intent to purchase are walking up to him.
It's a trap.
He climbs you over the head and takes your coin first.
Everything
I'll
on
just
that
nod.
kilt is a mimic.
I'll just nod and pass by.
As you pass by, he sees that you're a dwarf, and he calls out to you, "My dwarven friend, come, see the finest cut emeralds, rubies, diamonds." And he gives you a knowing wink, knowing that, like, clerics need diamonds for high-level resurrection spells.
Yo, I'm sorry to cut in right there, but like I just had this image in my head of like a dwarf actually walking up to him like, "They
Oh, that is a lot of shiny, Soggy says as he looks up from his map for a quick second before looking back onto it.
He says, "Indeed it is."
Mr. Shiny Man, do you know where the best lodging is here that is nearby?
All the good hotels are full up or charging 100 gold or more a night.
Isn't it normally like 1 or 2 gold for a night?
For like medium-ish lodgings, yeah.
I want to know where all this gold is coming from.
It is a pretty well off area for a country that's having like severe economic like pressure put on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be difficult for us to get like figure out how exactly the economics work, but
Well, it's real simple. All of the knights and lower lords who are responsible for protecting the citizens have moved into the city for protection of their own. And so now the peasants are pretty much left to their own devices. And without the leadership of the knights and lords, they're starving. And so now they're rushing to the city, but all the good stuff is taken by the people who already had money. And to keep them out, they keep raising the price. Plus, it's a supply and demand thing. And so now all the poor are living in like shanty towns, basically. Now buy my diamonds.
What was that?
Now buy my diamonds.
I'll step up and pull out my jeweler's loop and go to inspect some of them.
You can tell that this guy is getting real, authentic dwarven cut gems. He must be part of a major guild because nobody could have this kind of inventory without the backing of some very powerful and rich people.
And do we recognize? Is there anything displayed that would be similar to like any of the flag designs or anything that we saw on the way in?
You can roll for perception to see if you happen to notice. So yeah, basically you see that when he raises his hand, he has a tattoo on his forearm of the guild that you saw getting free entrance. These guys are like the Yakuza around here.
So I'll ask some of the prices just kind of to gauge what I would know a gem would be worth and, just kind of see what the market is.
Surprisingly, he has a large inventory of various sizes of diamonds, and all of them are about 10% cheaper than you would figure. So a 300 gold piece diamond is only 270 gold pieces.
Supply and demand.
And they are genuine.
They are genuine. Yeah, people aren't buying gems these days so much, you know.
Would he accept trades in gems?
He's always looking for quality gems.
Yeah, these are kind of smallish. They're dwarven, but small 20 gold piece gems.
I mean,
About 600
th-
gold piece.
you got 600 gold pieces worth of gems that are worth about 20 gold pieces each.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, the best I can do is like 100, and I'm taking all the risk here. I mean, I'm gonna have to sit on these for like a year, and that's if they sell. Plus, the market's always changing.
So he's offering what for him?
Okay, 150, and I mean, I'm really pushing it here.
Hand him back his diamond and walk away.
Listen, if you change your
Ilu,
mind, you can always come back.
Mr. Shiny Man, what is your name? As Soggy sort of peeks over kind of peeks over.
And he says, "We are the guild," and he just gives you a salute, showing off his tattoo.
Oh, you must be very fancy. Is Turtle Lady part of guild? Is Turtle Lady part of guild?
He doesn't respond.
That is no then. If alright. Goodbye, Shiny Man. Hope you and guild is doing well. I imagine he sort of like his sort of like his he's a bit turn is a bit of confused when he sees Soggy's tail.
Yeah, I mean,
As he
he's
walks.
busy with, what he's got going on, so he doesn't really notice, but yeah, like he sees your hunched over shape and he's like, what a weird little child. Harbeck, you come across an elderly man selling weapons that he's forged himself.
It looked like a weapon shop.
Does it look like they're
Quality.
impressive quality, or does it look like it's just some ghetto stuff?
Roll for insight. You can tell that aside from dwarven smiths, that this is some of the finest craftsman work that humans could produce.
Impressive.
Yeah, this this is the last of the stuff that my son made before. Oh my God, I'm so terrible with names. Um, the Lord took him away. Gerhardt.
So you are also victim of the Lord. It is very sad of you, Mr. Peasant Man.
What the hell are you?
Soggy is Soggy, as he said it just
as he responds in a gleeful tone, peeking behind Lillian.
I'll approach the man and say, he's a kobold.
You keep that pet of yours away from decent folk.
Soggy's used to not being a. Soggy's used to that. As he sort of lets out a sigh. Soggy knows that people does not like Soggy.
Tell me, man. Tell me, sir. What happened to your son?
When Lord Gerhardt heard about his skill with the hammer and anvil, he conscripted him to the army to go make weapons for his goons.
What a shame. Have you heard from him?
The last letter I got said he was being sent to the front line to repair armor.
How long ago was this?
Been year and a half now.
Sorry to hear that.
Do any of the weapons stand out from the others? Magical runes, maybe, or any better quality?
What you can see is several perfectly balanced daggers, a axe that has a particular weight to the head that makes it to where it gives you extra momentum, a long sword that is effectively a bastard sword when you want it to be, or a light weapon if you want it to be. Um,
Sorry
so
to cut in there, but that's called a hand.
a what? That's called a what?
That's referred to as a hand and a half sword.
Yeah, a hand and a
So
half
that
sword.
means that you can either two-hand it or you can one-hand it.
Yep, exactly. And so it has both the light and the versatile properties, but not both at once. So if you're using it as a light weapon, it deals 1d8 damage. If you're using it as a versatile weapon, it does 1d10 damage.
I mean, this seems like as good as a place as any, so I'll approach him and, hey, old man, what'd you think this would be worth? And then I'll show him the obsidian longsword.
The old man looks at it and says, "Where'd you get that?"
I found it.
Soggy peeps up and says, "In jungle. We went to here to get to town."
And
That
I'll put my obsidian axe on the table also.
What's the expression on his face right now?
one of like, what have you guys done?
So it's more of one and shock and horror than like, hey, that's a pretty nifty trinket you got.
Yeah.
Why is there something wrong with it?
He's like, I didn't believe it. Great grandpa was pretty old and crazy by the time he died, but I remember it like it was yesterday. I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and he sat me down and told me the story of when ancient forces collided, and of the obsidian weapons that the gods' chosen lizard folks had wielded against the enemies of their gods. And so if you're wielding these weapons, it can only mean that the old gods are coming out of hiding. It's a big long tale that you guys would be loosely familiar with as like part of the origin story of this planet, where like you know how all of the different pantheons and all that have their origin story, like you know Ra created this, or Odin created that, or you know Zeus and all of the other creator gods and all of that. But then usually there's like some kind of betrayal or uprising, and that's basically how it goes, is that the different gods each had their chosen champions, and they would fight against primordial titans and uh, elementals and other agents of chaos, as well as each other. And so they would, you know, have these huge wars, and the gods themselves came down and fought against some of the most powerful titans. And you guys have heard different iterations of this story thousands of times, but this peasant is claiming that the weapons that you wield are a sign that the gods have awoken and will once again walk the earth, devastating the planet.
Soggy sort of tugs on Donovan's armor and whispers, "Does that mean the hybrid is one?" Donovan?
I'm so sorry, but I couldn't hear you.
I said, Soggy whispered to you, "Does that mean the hybrid is one? He's one of those gods?"
Seems like it.
Oh no, Soggy mumbles to himself as he looks to his familiar snake, his snake familiar.
Well, I guess when the old man finishes explaining all that, I'll ask him. So, what do you think something like this would be worth then?
Says, I don't think it's worth the price you're about to pay.
Damn.
Does Soggy think this is bad? Soggy thinks this is bad.
Well, I guess you aren't interested in purchasing it then.
I don't know if I'm interested in talking to you any longer.
I don't know how you can really blame me for finding something that's on the ground.
I'm not
We found
blaming
them.
you, I just don't want anything more to do with it.
Sorry we sold you the shiny blades, Mr. Peasant Sir. Did you hear that, DM?
Yeah. The name's Orin. Now you go on, you get.
Okay, Orin. As he sort of backs off a bit, returning to his map.
That guy was weird.
And I'm gonna ask him. Are you still, by any chance, in possession of your anvil?
Oh, they took that with them when they took my boy.
I see.
I have a question. Could like how do you uh how conspicuous is it to cast detect magic?
Your eyes glow.
Would this be something that like I could do subtly, or would it be like?
Well, like your eyes glow, so
I mean, I already got red eyes. That's like freaky enough, right?
yeah, but if like they start to glow, people might like think things.
Okay, so that's probably not a good idea to do it here in the middle of the square.
Yeah. By the way, now that you guys are closer, you can see that this woman is an extremely talented belly dancer who is doing all kinds of flexible poses and erotic dancing, and she is spinning around and getting her silk scarves like to do like the ribbon dance kind of stuff. And as you guys approach, she's like getting closer and closer to you.
Soggy sort of backs away, nervous about the ribbons, thinking that they're blades.
I mean, I'm just gonna try to walk around her, I guess. I mean,
As you start to walk around her, make a dexterity save. All right. You just narrowly avoid as she spins wildly around with her scarves flying like a helicopter's blades, and you duck right as one of them was about to wrap around you just in time to like get out of the way and continue on.
and is this like? Can I sense this is like killing intent here, or is this bitch just like not being careful and not watching what she's doing?
Oh yeah, you just got too close. Like it was mostly your fault. You're the jerk.
I was just trying to walk around.
Yeah, well she's dancing here.
Well, I could. I don't need to go within 5 feet. I can just,
Yeah, well that's
go
not what your
reasonable
token
distance.
did. Your token got right up in there and she was spinning around and dancing. You see a
Can we?
barrel maker.
Okay, that's what I was just gonna ask. This next one up here has an axe on the table. Is that anything weaponry or?
The guard says, "Hey, what are you doing looking in that guy's warehouse there? Get your face out of there, you stupid dwarf."
Why are you people always so grumpy?
Uh, it's 100 degrees, humid. I'm wearing full metal armor and carrying a shield and talking to your dumb ass. So I don't know. You tell me.
Bet
It is
I'm smarter
because
than
you are
you.
very hot, Soggy responds.
I'll stick my tongue out at him too.
He pokes at you with his mace and says, "Move along, Morning Star."
All these people that are weird and cranky.
This is why people does not like Soggy. Because Soggy did that in the past. Because Soggy did that in the past.
Did what? We're weird?
Hey, sir, you look like just the kind of guy who needs one of my magical healing potions.
Soggy sort of looks at the guy and says, "Yay, another guild one."
That's right.
He's-
Step right up, folks. I got potions of all kinds. Potions to cure your curses. Potions to heal your wounds. Potions to make your woman fall in love with you again.
Can Soggy see the? Soggy's going to do a perception check to like see what kind of potions like he's selling.
So what's up with this guy here? I was kind of breaking out when he was pitching his.
Well, he appears to be selling potions.
That's right. I got tinctures. I got creams. I got potions. I got all your needs right here. Well, look at you. You guys look like adventurers. You definitely need one of these. And he holds up a bottle. He says, Potion of fire breathing.
Yeah, but that sounds kind of unpleasant. Wouldn't that just be like a really bad sore throat or something?
He says, side effects may include. Please consult your physician before using.
What is physician? Is it music man?
Oh, look at you. I bet you could use a potion of giant's growth.
Soggy says, "No, thank you. Soggy has only copper. Soggy will go. He's only has copper and is reading map. So Soggy does not need potions. Thank you and good."
So what of these other stores appear to be that we can see in the square here?
None of the other stores are selling anything that would be of use to you guys. It's all just like, other things that people at the market would buy.
Well, I guess I'll get back together with the group here. I suppose we should probably look into finding out about a room because it sounds like this would be pretty expensive.
I'll ask the guard if there's an armory or armorer, blacksmith close.
Do you know how many shops are in this town? Go look around and find them yourself, you filthy tourist.
See, this guy's an asshole too.
Well,
how
I
many
mean,
more, like,
I mean specifically the guards in this town, like they're forced to wear heavy armor and stand in the sweltering humid heat all day
yeah,
long.
I get it. It would be, an unpleasant job, but it's just funny. Like the last 3 people are just very angry, unhappy people. So if we're looking
Hey,
around, if there's
Orin,
any,
Orin was nice to you guys until you whipped out your blades.
I wasn't trying to kill the guy. I was just trying to ask him what the damn thing was worth.
Well, aside from lodging, difficult. See, I literally have 10 gold.
But you only got 10 gold left.
Yeah, that's all I've had. But
Oh, shit.
that turtle lady, Mama Shelley, whatever her name was, she had a map of. I think that those maps contained the locations of the various temples we need to go to, like the water dragon that we already went to, the fire temple. We still have to go to the earth and stone and no, it's the earth, water, and the other one.
Earth, water, and air.
I mean, I don't know. When I was there, did any of the maps seem to speak out to me and appeal to me like the other ones did for the other people?
Well, I mean, I specifically mentioned one of the dragons by name, and then she would just like went to go hand me this map that I didn't.
I mean, it's an interesting theory.
It also happens to be old as all hell, so
Yeah, I really doubt it's like just a normal map. I mean, I don't know, DM, was there like any maps that were interesting to me or
Nope.
were like,
Nope. I would have said something if so.
yeah, that's I'm like, the theory is kind of an interesting one. I just wondered. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll keep looking around unless there's any shops that would be like really notable. Like, hey, that totally screams like there would be some magic items there for sale. Then I guess we'll probably just head towards the inn, I think, or go about trying to find out about accommodations.
So are you heading to the upscale part of town or to the docks?
Well, I want to go to the upscale one because I know I can earn more money there if I play my instrument. And also, I really doubt, like, as a character, that Lillian would want to go to some creepy, shady tavern with a bunch of weird people and get bed bugs or something.
I imagine. Well, Soggy still is waiting for Donovan to finish working on his armor.
well, I mean, I haven't started yet.
Yeah.
Like, I actually we need a place to actually go and stop for me to be able to do.
That's why Soggy is willing to go anywhere. So he's the neutral vote. Whether it's the upstate or the low state, it's either one.
I mean, we really don't have the money. I mean, I guess if if Lillian wants to go off to the more upscale one, then nothing I can do to stop her. But I just don't have the money.
Yeah, well, I think that, like, when it comes time to, like, sleep or whatever, we could just split up and just reconvene unless there's, like, reason to believe that there's going to be some crazy civil unrest going on and there's going to be random fights breaking out. I mean,
Well, whatever happens, Soggy's sticking close to Donovan, the friend that has stuck with him for a while now.
I suppose I'm gonna go to the docks, look for
And Lillian, you go to the upscale part of town?
yeah, I mean, because, like, obviously, it's other such thing. The situation may just resolve itself. Like, one of these places may be, like, completely booked, and we might just have to think of an alternative anyway. So let's just see what happens.
And Harbeck, who are you going with?
I'll go with Lillian.
Okay. So I'll deal with you guys first quick. You go to the upscale part of town, and after searching for about an hour, you find one place that has one room available, and it's 50 gold per person per night.
Lillian, you can work for your lodging.
Yeah. How would that? Now I know that's like a background trade or whatever, but is it just assumed that Anywhere honors that, or would I have to actually like inquire if they would be interested in having me like perform in exchange for lodgings for the night?
Uh, yeah, so the way that I work stuff like that is that it really, really is highly dependent on what area you're in. For example, if you were to try and perform in a funeral, like people probably wouldn't be into that. And so, right now, the way that this town is, if you want to try and convince someone to let you like do music for the guests while they eat in order to pay for your lodgings, you're going to have to roll a persuasion check. And it's a really high difficulty because right now people are panicking. Um, it's not
I mean,
anything.
I honestly have more confidence in my persuasion rolls than I do my performance rolls. So,
Yeah, it's just like I realize that right now the world is having a whole panic, moment, but like this was the story that I had worked out for this area 6 months ago when we began this campaign. So like it's not a commentary on the current social climate, but like this town is basically having a moment like what we're having in the world with like people overbuying and hoarding stuff, and the rich are like taking up all the good housing, and so prices are inflated, and it's just a whole thing going on with this town. So to get them to let you stay there for free is going to be extremely difficult. So you're going to have to roll with disadvantage, and it's a difficulty class 20 roll.
okay, can always try, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to explain why it was so difficult, even though it's a class ability.
I got a 3 on both.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
So basically, they're like, yeah, listen, gold or get out.
I'll pay it.
They
You
say
don't mind sharing.
they
You don't
say
mind sharing a room.
it's 10% extra for dwarves. Impossible to get the ale stink out.
wow. Oh man.
So you got to pay them 55 gold.
I'm really gonna end up killing somebody in this town, I think.
Everybody's a racist asshole. It's great. oh man. Hey, that's the fourth Chimera that's angry BTW. Oh well, I mean, I guess we could split the cost.
Well, I mean, what, 2.5 gold each?
No, I mean for the whole fee thing, like split it. Split the entire bill, I mean.
So 52.5 gold pieces each?
No, that's not necessary.
Are you sure?
I'm going to try to intimidate him a little bit and say that 50 gold is the max. Then I'll pay for this rat hole. Kind of grip my battle axe a little bit and just be as intimidating as I can.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. So as you start to threaten the innkeeper, he says, "Hey, look, I don't want any trouble. I'll tell you what, if I smell you and you don't reek of ale, I'll let you in for 50."
Oh, he's on to.
Lillian, you realize that you need to quickly do something about this.
I mean, would I be able to even like subtly cast a spell without like drawing a shit ton of attention?
Yeah, the only thing that would really like draw any real attention would be your glowing eyes, but you can just turn away into the corner.
So you can use your the thing the the thing that's like a key.
So as the innkeeper comes around the counter to smell Harbeck, he can smell the faint scent of flowery perfume instead of ale. Uh,
That's almost better in a way.
and he looks like really shocked, and he's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry." And he takes the 50 gold and says, "By all means, go on upstairs." So you guys go and get settled into your room, and now we're gonna go down to the docks with the other guys.
Thanks, Lillian. That was I like that.
I'm just trying to picture the dude like smelling him, and he just smells the fucking. I'm not sure that's just funnier than it should be. I'm sorry.
Well, the Harbeck would probably have the same kind of reaction to his smell.
Now, obviously, Harbeck and Lillian, you're back at the other inn, but I'm putting you on the map just because, I want you to be able to see what's going on still.
All right. So we're looking for somewhere to stay the night.
Yeah, and as you approach the docks, the first building that you see is a large tavern that appears to possibly have some rooms upstairs as well.
All right, I'll enter.
All right, so as you enter through the side door and oh no, that is the front door. My bad. as you enter through the front door, you can see several people gathered around the tables, all drinking mugs of ale. And sitting inside at the table are two pirates. One of them is a male and he's drinking heavily. The other one is a female and she is scantily clad and kind of dancing around on the table.
Drunks.
A barmaid comes out serving them more ales, and noticing you, she says, "What'll it be?"
Hello, Soggy says behind Donovan.
The pirate
now I
looks
just-
over at Soggy and scoffs.
Soggy is fine. Soggy is leaving, he mutters to himself as he returns to looking at the map, trying to translate it.
For the time being, I'm just looking for a place to lay my head down on.
Yeah, it's 5 gold pieces a night to crash in one of the cots.
Jesus, at this rate, like, might as well just go sleep outside or pitch a tent.
Hey, I mean, 5 gold, that's cheaper than like 100 that that one dude quoted us.
So,
I don't know. A cot sounds like I'm getting robbed. Like in the middle of the night.
Nobody robs anybody here. Code of the black market.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Jeez.
How reassuring.
The pirate looks at you and says, "What is it, your first time?"
Friend, oh there, friend, why don't you mind your ale and I'll mind my own business.
He scoffs at you but glares you down a little.
oh, Slashy Men. Hello, Slashy Men. He's referring to the pirates, right?
Yes.
And I imagine they scoffed at us at Soggy too.
Let's see. Darn, I was kind of hoping for a room, but I suppose a cot will do.
You finally made up your mind, huh? All right. Well, give me the 5 gold.
I'll pass
So
it to her.
10 gold together.
All right. So upstairs, you can. There we go. Upstairs, you can see that there's a couple of rooms, but they're all rented out. And then over here, there's a communal room with 5 cots, and one of them's open.
One second, please. I gotta take something.
Okay.
Well, Soggy's going to try and sleep under the cot, under the available cot, so Donovan can sleep on top of the available cot. Is that all right, DM?
Yeah.
Will you allow that?
Yeah.
Soggy will act like the monster under the bed and make himself comfortable.
Hey, you could double as a night watch while your friend's sleeping.
Indeed.
Yeah, I bet a couple of the drunks who are already asleep will wake up quite confused and scared if they see a tail or something sticking out.
Yeah. That's why Soggy is sleeping under Donovan's cot along with his familiar. And you imagine the familiar sort of coils up in his onto his chest as sort of like a snake sleeping onto a warm stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lillian and Harbeck, your room comes with a meal. However, down here, the meal is a uh, eel pie that is like a pot pie, basically, but made with eels.
Jellied eels.
Sounds good.
Soggy just loves that.
Yeah, that's not for you. That's not what you get here. That's what Lillian and Harbeck get.
Oh. Alright, sorry.
Wait, they gave the eel pie thing to me.
Yeah.
Then when it comes time to eat the food, then she's probably just like poking at it with a fork and doesn't want to eat it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty gross.
What the heck even is this thing?
I'll take yours if you're not going to finish it.
By all means, that's absolutely gross.
Harbeck wolfs down the salty pastry dish.
Hey, I was eating worms for breakfast. So.
Yeah, but washing it down with ale. Here they only have water. But it's clean water.
That's surprising. That's a delicacy.
Anyways.
We're just waiting on Donovan. He said he had to deal with something.
I'll actually be right back real quick. I need to use the restroom.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. All right,
All right, what I
so
missed?
nothing. Soggy's gonna sleep under the cot, and he lets you have the cot. So you guys have your cot.
Didn't he pay for the cot though? Like for his own cot?
No, he doesn't have any money. He gave it all to the turtle.
Ah,
While Soggy is under the bed, I imagine he's like looking at the map he got.
Yes.
He is just focused on the map.
I think it'd be a good time for me to augment your armor.
Yes, Soggy replies while look under the bed. Soggy lets out a confirming yep. So
Oh, well, all right then. It looks like everybody's pretty much settled in to their accommodations, and Donovan is going to go off to find some space to work with your armor. So we will kind of use that as what you guys do during your downtime and pick up with your guys having gotten your full rest and what you do the next day on the next session. So
All right.
thanks for playing, guys, and as always, good gaming.
Lovely.